Hi. Hi, Elke. This lesson is not what I had originally planned. I had planned to do a lesson about color and about abstract painting, but we spent quite a bit of time talking about Minecraft and looking at Minecraft, and it occurred to me that it would make an excellent basis for our lesson. Now, the question is this. In art, on a flat surface, like paper, or a television screen, or a computer screen, or an iPad, which is flat, how do people make things look thick, or going back, or having space, or being able to walk around it? When you look at Minecraft, you can walk, you can imagine walking into the space that is shown. But it's a flat surface. The computer screen is a flat surface. So how does it happen that it looks three-dimensional? Now, it might seem obvious because they do it so easily, but actually, it wasn't discovered or figured out until about the time of Shakespeare, or maybe even later, around 1400, 1500. They figured out a way to do it. Up until they figured it out, they only just occasionally relied upon diagonals. But diagonals by themselves do not indicate space. The diagonals have to have some kind of organization. Then the organization of the diagonals indicates space. So, let's look at this. You'll recognize it right away. That's from Minecraft. Does it have diagonals? Yes. Diagonal, 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 diagonal. All of these diagonals organized make this look like a box instead of just a bunch of rectilinear shapes. So we know with our mind that what we're looking at is something of this kind. It's a three-dimensional box represented on a flat piece of paper. Now, you drew this for me when we were talking on Friday. You drew this shape and you started with what we said was a Y. This is the Y. You drew this, the Y. Then you added the bottom parallel. You added the bottom here, parallel to that. And this vertical was parallel to that. And this parallel to that. This line was parallel to that. And with that system, you made that shape. What I want you to notice is that the angle of the Y determines the view of the box. We're looking at it in a certain way. But if you change the Y a little bit, you get a different box. For example, compare these two boxes. Do you see the difference between this box and that box? One is seen like this, and one is seen like that. It's because the Y for this looks like that, but the Y for this is flattened out, like that, instead of like that. Now here's a question. Let's say I wanted to expand my box and put another box on top of it and draw it, and then another one on top of that, and then another one repeated on top of that. I could do 100 boxes going up like an elevator, but the last one on the top will look like that, and we will be looking at the top of the box. No matter how high I go, I cannot get a drawing that looks like the bottom of the box. In other words, I only get this when what I want is this. How do I get this? Well, watch. That way. Now, I've got the bottom of the box. I'm looking at the underside of the box because I turned the Y upside down. No longer is it a Y, it's that shape. And the top repeats it like that. So we got that for shapes we are looking up at, and this for shapes that we are looking down on. you recognize this. These are Minecraft clouds. This is exactly how they do them. They use this and repeated like that. And the whole system is like that, except where you don't see. In other words, there would be a line here, but you can't see it because the cloud blocks it out. So, to draw, which is your assignment, a pencil drawing of Minecraft clouds, you need a grid. But the grid is the verticals, the diagonal, and the other diagonal, and it has to be a drawing in which every single line is parallel to one of those three lines, and it's very hard to make it up. So you need to create a grid. This is a grid. Here is my Y, and with this, it doesn't matter whether I make an up Y or a down Y, because I have all of them. I have three lines. The vertical, this diagonal, and that diagonal, and I repeat them all over the paper, both ways, and those are the only lines I can use. If I want to draw a cloud seen from underneath, I will start with a pencil, because I want to be able to erase it if it doesn't come out right. So with a pencil, in your case, in a sketch, you would start with a 4H pencil, and when you're happy with what it looks like, you erase lines you don't like and go back over it with a 4B pencil. So I'm going to use this and this. And then I'm going to come down a little bit like that, and come like that, parallel to this, parallel to that. And now I have the leading edge or the front edge of my first cloud. To make it a little thick, I have to go parallel to this. And I can go like this. Then I might want to come back like that. Go down like this. Now I have one complete cloud seen from underneath, just like wherever it is. Nope, I lost it now. Here it is. So you see I've drawn one of these. What if I want to make it bigger? Maybe I'll go like this. Maybe I'll have it go right out of the picture. Then if I want to come back, now remember, you don't have to go on the red line, you have to go parallel to the red line. Now, in a cloud, this part, in the cloud I drew, this part has to come out because it wouldn't show, because it all becomes part of the bottom. I want it to look like a single piece. Now that I've got it that far, I'm going to take my marker so you can see it clearly and then go like this. But I'm only doing it with marker so you can see it clearly in the video. Yours is going to be a pencil drawing, and it's not going to be this. It's going to be your own cloud that you make up. But first you have to make the grid. As far as the red pencil lines, you can use your colored pencil. Make them very light. And there is my Minecraft cloud, but only the drawing of it. Now to conclude, when you look at Minecraft, notice this: the floor, the walls, the ceilings, the door frames. Every single thing in Minecraft conforms to this principle of, and it's called perspective. And it'd be an interesting thing to do before you do this, to look up the word perspective in Google and see what it says. So that is your assignment for today to be done between now and Friday when we'll talk about it on Zoom. Bye.